What's going on, everyone? We've got a very exciting deck today. We're playing some set 4 Han, and with a different red base than Tarkin Town, because we're abusing one of the new cards. We got a lot of things going on with this new list, some things similar to the past. But before we dive into the deck today, a big thank you to my patrons over on Patreon, guys. It has been an absolute blast playing some new set 6. So with Han, we've got obviously the odd mechanic, where not like odd mechanic, but the fact that we have to be running odd cards, and the different cost odd cards is going to give us +1/+0 for his action. But more importantly, when we flip him for 5 resources as a pilot, based on how many, odd units we've got on the battlefield, we can go out and ready up a bunch of resources. This is actually really strong. There's 2 new cards in here that I think really benefit from this. The first one's the Sudden Ferocity. 3 cost plot +3/+0 upgrade. It can just drop on a random space unit, and this just allows us to use those resources that we are readying up. The other card is Aggressive Negotiations. Now, you might think, oh, well, we're readying up a bunch of resources, we're playing a bunch of cards, are we going to have low cards in hand? Well, the idea here is we have things like Sudden Ferocity from a resource pile, and more importantly, we've got things like C-3PO and Bo Shek to hopefully draw us back up a bunch of cards. We also are playing Surprise Strike just as the default, and then Shadow Collective Camp, when we deploy Han, is going to draw us a card as well. So the idea here is that we're hopefully going to get, +4-0, +5-0, if we are reasonably lucky, and we draw a couple Bo Sheks or have a couple Sudden Ferocities in the resource pile. That's the game plan. So with that, we've got also A-Wings, Ebon Hawks as new space units in the space arena. Ebon Hawk giving a +2/+0 bonus, so a 5/3 space unit on attacks. Essentially, we are looking for more aggressive attackers, so Ebon Hawk seemingly is going to fit in quite nicely, since we do have a decent amount of heroism units to go ahead and heroism cards in general to go ahead and proc the Ebon Hawk. Little bit of interaction with Jam Communications, we'll see. I'm curious to see if this Aggressive Negotiations is actually going to be better than Surprise Strike on average, or if it's going to be pretty, just on the same note, and we should just run 3 Surprise Strikes and 2 Aggressive Negotiations. We do use a lot of cards in our hand because of all the 1-drops, but we've got some plot and some other things to kind of make up for it. So it'll be interesting to find out. Of course, no Tarkin Town. Don't really do a lot of damage to opposing units, right? We don't have like Daring Raids or anything like that. So not really going to worry about Tarkin Town, even though it can be useful against other space decks. So let's see what we can do with Han Red today. Alrighty, into our first game. We're gonna mulligan this hand. It doesn't look too great. This one looks a lot better. I think I'll keep the Ebon Hawk. Kind of want to play Ebon Hawk on turn 2. We got double yellow Asajj. I don't know what's going on with my leader. I played a couple of games before this, and for some reason, I couldn't see both leader and base on opposing side. And so I was asking some people, and it's like, it just seems like some people have some random bugs, and I don't know. But no shade to Karabas, because they're here and they do an amazing job. Sometimes you just get some random bugs, no big deal. We're just going to have to try to remember to use our leader ability, which we will be using very frequently. Double yellow Asajj is a little bit scary. They're going to have things like No Good to Me Dead, I imagine. They're going to have, your maybe even now there are 2 of them type effects. So a little bit worrying there. Let's go to resource this Millennium Falcon. Although I do like my hand right now. My hand looks pretty excellent. We have no a Bodhi coming in. We have no events, so that doesn't do anything whatsoever. We'll go ahead and see what we hit. We had a 1-drop, which means we want to hit with the Millennium Falcon since it's the different odd cost, and then we will pass. Another Millennium Falcon, another R2. I think I'll resource the Millennium Falcon, because I'm going to pay 1 to keep the Millennium Falcon around, and then I'm going to play out the Ebon Hawk. They've got Cunning, sure. Cunning's going to be a good card. If they have Cunnings, we're going to probably lose. That's just kind of how the game goes, right? Fortunately for us, at least, we aren't going to have to deal with, my opponent just getting in a ton of damage. I mean, they're going to get a lot of damage, but we have definitely a chance to win the game here. Nothing to really utilize our resources here in this turn, but what we can do is Han Solo, Ebon Hawk, attack. reveal the Cartel Turncoat, which is going to get us a lot of damage. I mean, look how much damage that was. They currently have 3, 6. Oh, they have another Cunning. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to beat double Cunning, right? It is just tough. Let's go ahead and deploy as a unit. Kind of stinks to go ahead and do this, but yeah. Okay. Hold on. If we claim initiative, we can hit for 9 with we can hit for, that's just a win with the aggressive negotiations, because this hits for 8 by default. I'm surprised they use Asajj to kill. I was gonna say well, I didn't even need to resource anything. That was a waste, but we did not need to, or they should not have killed my my Han. I think they're in the racing category, right? I mean, that is just a one shot. Boom! Aggressive negotiations coming in. Not that aggressive negotiations did anything too particular, because surprise strike would have been a little bit better. But we're gonna just rush our opponent through double Cunning. Wow. Okay, I was gonna say Cunning is the card where we have to really scared of, and they double Cunninged us, and we still were able to come out with the win. I think if my opponent did something a little bit different there, instead of hitting Han, I deployed Han on the ground, because we would have lost just straight up. Okay, I don't know how much damage they did. 6 damage? We were at 14. If they dealt 8 damage to base, that would have been 22. Yeah, we would have lost. We just lost, straight up lost. So if my opponent just did not hit the Han with their Asajj, we would have lost. There was nothing that we could have done in that game. Yeah, it was over. That was the only chance we had, is if we deployed Han to the ground arena and they did something to it. So kind of just baited them in, I guess. Yeah, that should have been a loss. That should have been a loss. Obviously, with double Cunning, that makes sense. Alrighty, we get a little spicy here today going on, and we're going to see what my opponent's playing. I cannot tell what base they are running, so hopefully it's not too scary out over there, but we will find out very shortly, I think. Cartel Turncoat, Crackshot V-Wing, Jam Communications. Honestly, I do like the Jam Communications up against my opponent here. Sudden Ferocity. I mean, we could play literally every single one of our cards this turn. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to probably just slam the Jam Communications right now. I'm assuming this Han, by the way, because this is a Han 1. Yeah, we'll just take the Surprise Strike. That kind of sucks, though. The Millennium Falcon. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, the Millennium Falcon kind of sucks. Oh, they're racing us. Okay. I'm very happy with that. They have the Padme Amidala, which is pretty good. Sanctioner Shuttle. Ooh. Sanctioner Shuttle's a really good one. We have a lot of 1-drops. Sanctioner Shuttle can do some clutch work here, stall out the game a little bit. I would have assumed that they would have tried to hit some of my units here, but I guess we'll wait and see. They're going to pay 1 for the Millennium Falcon. Yep, they're going to hit a unit now. Let's just go ahead and see what we've got on top. That's another Millennium Falcon, or that is a Millennium Falcon. So that's going to be pretty strong. Surprise Strike in. We're going to hit in for 2. Hit in for another 2. We're going to Sanctioner Shuttle, take away that Millennium Falcon, pass. And I mean, we've got an interesting situation going on here, because what we can do is deploy Cassian. I can deploy Cassian and Millennium Falcon, or Sudden Ferocity Millennium Falcon, or like a combination of those two, but I can't do all 3 because I don't have 6 resources. So we're going to have to figure out what we would like to do here in order to get the most value. So they're going to get their Han to deploy this turn. What's the most damage? I don't want to go with the Cassian, I don't think. So let's just go ahead and attack him with the Sanctioner Shuttle. Make sure I can get that attack in, because they're probably going to want to target that as soon as possible. We do have another card to draw. Oh man, they drew another Millennium Falcon. What a card. I mean, this is gross. And they kept the Chewbacca. So they're going to get in for 6. That's not quite enough. That is not quite enough damage. So now we get to go Millennium Falcon into the deploy here. We can reveal. Great. We get to get in for 3. And then we deploy as pilot. We're going to draw a card first. Okay, we're going to ready a resource, play the plot card. Oh, is it enough? I don't know. Oh, no, we're 1 short. There are so many different cards that could have gotten there for us. If we had deployed Cassian first, would that have changed? Nope, we were just 1 point of damage short. So Yeah, the Millennium Falcon on my opponent's side of the battlefield really good, but also we just had a load of 1-drops, which kind of make it awkward. They had the second Millennium Falcon. It's just too good, right? Just too good. If we had another Millennium Falcon early on, it would have been pretty good. Jam Communications didn't really do a whole lot, but yeah, very, very close game. We were 1 point of damage short. I wonder if I missed a Han action there. I don't remember because, again, all the stuff is blacked out right now. But if I missed a Han action, that would have been the win of the game. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys noticed I missed a Han action. Oh, man, that was so close. Alrighty, into our next game here. We're going to get rid of the aggressive negotiations in this particular spot. Really wanting, like, Boshek and stuff. And our C-3PO. I don't think... What is this, the third game? I don't think we've seen a C-3PO yet. Let's go with A-Wing. And then... I mean, my opponent's probably playing a bunch of space units, so this... probably is going to stink for us, but I guess we'll find out very shortly. Okay, they're going to do nothing. Let's go into resource that aggressive negotiations yet again. They're going to go ahead and do their thing, hit my A-Wing with their A-Wing probably. I guess I could have just claimed initiative. I was expecting my opponent to have some other unit to play afterwards, and they were just going to go all in. But in this spot, it would have just been better for me to claim initiative here. Let's go ahead and play out the Millennium Falcon first and see what my opponent's got here. I wouldn't mind if they give us an X-Wing. Like, them using their ability on our units is pretty solid for us. All right, we got C-3PO on top. Sure. Let's pass C-3PO. I mean, I like my hand. They can get rid of the Sanctioner shuttle here. Okay, Ebon Hawk on top. Let's go C-3PO 3. I guess I could have played Han beforehand, but I was hoping with the Han ability I would be able to draw a 1-drop here and then be able to play that, but not the case, which is okay. We still have the Millennium Falcon, which we can play out this turn. We do have the Cassian, and we have a lot of cards in hand. So hopefully on this turn, we're going to be able to, really leverage that. Faith in your friends. They're going to get 2 readied up tokens. It's going to be pretty sick, to be honest. It's going to be pretty sick. I mean, that is 6 damage. I don't really care about hitting units here. They disclose spare the target stolen Starpath unit and Sanctioner shuttle. Sanctioner shuttle is going to be disgusting. I mean, here I will just go ahead and reveal. It's an A-Wing. I'm going to get in for 4. I really would like to get in my damage first. We'll see if they decide to use Sanctioner shuttle now. If they do, that's fine with me, to be honest. I don't really care about that. I think spare the target's going to be more relevant. If I were them, I'd be holding for spare the target. That said, I have Jam Communications, which is going to work out really nicely for me. Very, very nicely for me. Okay, so they are going to take the V-Wing anyways. We are going to A-Wing. So we name a 1-drop. Draw the 1-drop. Again, we don't care about their spy tokens. They created a unit. Did they have a unit leave the battlefield? Oh, any unit. Of course. Enemy unit as well. Okay, let's go with Millennium Falcon. And then we can go A-Wing. R2 with piloting on the A-Wing. Jam Communications, get rid of... Ooh, Cunning. Yep, Cunning is gross. What a disgusting card. And then we can deploy as a pilot to draw a card and then ready a bunch of resources. We get to go ahead and get in 4/6 into their base, play a Y-Wing, play an Ebon Hawk, pass. That was a pretty stellar turn. They do have spare the target, which they can spare the target like an Ebon Hawk, but at least they don't have cunning. That jam communications could come in extremely relevant here. They can exhaust units with their Admiral Akbar, and they do have a lot of damage, right? Right now they have 6, 8, 10. I mean, that's a lot of damage. Okay, let's go ahead and get in for 6 immediately. And then we'll see what my opponent does. Now, normally we just name... we have a lot of 3-drops, but I think here we have drawn more 3-drops. I think we'll have more 1-drops in our deck. So if we attack with C3P, it's going to name it 1-drop. Okay, Ebon Hawk, we're going to reveal that. That's an attack in for 5. Ebon Hawk doing work right now. I mean, this is a pretty... It's a pretty close game, all things considered. I mean, they've got Plo Koon. They're going to knock out the C3PO. I mean, that's risky because our A-Wing's going to attack in for 3. And I mean, every single one of our cards is lethal on our board now. Now, they can use the pay 1 to exhaust this Republic Y-Wing. So we'll see what they decide to do. I mean, we do have the Cassian deploy, which should be GG. Unless they have, like, the 1-cost combat trick to exhaust unit, get something extra, and, you know, that's fine. There's the R2-D2 on the Y-Wing to finish out the game. Because they can exhaust this, of course, but we have the Y-Wing. I was saying they had to have the one where it exhausts unit. So they attack, kill this, exhaust unit here, and then they get the X-Wing. Or we get the X-Wing, but then we just claim initiative and probably win the game anyways. So yeah, that was probably just GG no matter what. Into our next game, and got a decent hand here. I think I'm going to resource the R2 and, of course, the Sudden Ferocity. Sudden Ferocity is good, but we really only care about it in the deploy turn. Another Han, going to resource probably that Han. They've got a Super Laser Technician. That looks pretty good. I mean, they've got a good start, right? But we've got a pretty aggressive start of our own. Get an attack in. It's a C3PO on top. Cassian going to the resource pile. I like the Han Solo plus C3PO potential combination here, but I mean, ooh, interesting. Okay, well now we have a Wolfpack Escort. All right, we're gonna get in for 1. I'm gonna Han Solo kill their MC-30 assault frigate because it's gonna be first strike here. I'm gonna be able to kill off their unit and not have to worry about anything. Okay, we're going to pass. Resource the C3PO, pay 1 resource. So here's what's interesting. We can go Wolfpack Escort or Crackshot V-Wing, Sudden Ferocity, ready up resources, then Cassian. It's going to be amazing. Overrolling Barrage, yeah, they can take out a couple units, but we're still going to be in a good spot. Okay, they're going to get in a little bit of damage here. Totally fine. We're going to go ahead and go Crackshot V-Wing. Then let's go ahead and see if we can get a 1-drop on top. Yep, it's a Jam Communications. Great. We're going to get a hit in for 6. Deploy as a pilot. We're going to play Sudden Ferocity first. Then draw a card. Then ready up the 5 resources. So it's going to get in for 7. And then we're going to be able to play Cassian afterwards. Wow, what an incredible turn. Jeez. I mean, I don't know what my opponent can do now. I mean, they could have another Overwhelming Barrage, but it's not quite enough. We can go Surprise Strike. Devastator doesn't do it. GG. GG. I mean, that is incredible. They even had, that Overwhelming Barrage. I mean, they didn't have a great hand, to be honest. You know, the Piet Reds takes a little bit of time. They need to ramp. Super Laser Technician's far worse than Resupply in this specific spot. They may have been able to get to Devastator much quicker and do something then, or like a Quinton's Assault Cruiser would have been better. If they get like a Devastator and then Overwhelming Barrage off that, that's where it gets a little bit scary, but I mean, we just crushed them. All right, into the next round here. Got a hand with double Sudden Ferocity. I think the proper number to name with this, with the 2 Sudden Ferocities and multiple 3-drops, is 1, but I think it's really close. Let's go ahead and name a 1-drop. It's a Millennium Falcon. Dang, unfortunate. Nothing much that you can do. I guess I could have used this action then played C3PO, so that was a little bit of troll. That was a little troll. That was a little troll. You know, ignore that, guys. You guys knew that, right? Right. Okay. We'll see what my opponent's got coming. Maybe they will hit my C3PO, but maybe they won't. I don't know. I don't really care. I was just using him to draw some extra cards. The 1 toughness units kind of stink. So, all right, we're going to name 1 now. Yeah, 1 toughness units kind of stink up against Talzin, so really don't want to see that. But, ooh, they've got Traya, huh? Okay, Traya can do some nasty stuff. Let's go ahead and put... Yeah, let's go ahead and just pass, actually. Okay, aggressive negotiations, surprise strike. You know, not a huge fan of my hand right now, but I mean, it could do some stuff. The C3PO is going to die here. I'm surprised that they're hitting C3PO, but I mean, I'm not hopeful for this game. They got power of the dark side. They probably are going to be able to kill my units. Yep. There's the Republic Y-Wing. We will name 1 to go ahead and draw that. Draw it. Great. They're going to kill my unit. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Not me. Not I. We'll go ahead and put this with piloting on the unit. Shrunk my unit down a little bit here. I mean, technically they could go Talzin, trigger, attack with Traya, trigger, deploy Talzin, attack, shrink the Millennium Falcon down even for, or Y-Wing. That's 3 points. I mean, that's a lot of shrinking, right? That's a lot of shrinking. We'll see what they have. We're going to go Y-Wing here. We're going to pass. We've got Han. We've got surprise strike. I'll resource the R2, I suppose. What do I want to do here? I want to play the Y-Wing. I want to get in with aggressive negotiations as well. This is going to be tough. If my opponent has like takedowns or things like that, it's going to be really difficult to win the game. This could be a very explosive game, however. Or I should say round. Let's go ahead and... Okay, so if I deploy, I get 4 resources. So I can go 1, 2... So I play Sudden Ferocity down to 3. Get 4 back. Play another Sudden Ferocity down to 2 Surprise Strike. You know what? We're going to go for it. If they happen to have... you know, something great, then so be it. So let's draw a card, trigger Sudden Ferocity on the Millennium Falcon, and hopefully it'll have No Good to Me Dead or something disgusting to go ahead and combo with this, but we're going to smack in for 1 million approximately. That's going to be an attack for 15, and that's going to do some work. Yes, it is. It's going to be incredible. Double Sudden Ferocity is great. That is really good. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just attack in for 15, and then we'll see what my opponent decides to do. I mean, right now I just claim initiative and I win, so they're gonna have to have something like a No Good to Me Dead or something of that nature to kind of win the game. They're not putting a lot of pressure on me. Oh, if that's their play, I mean, we just win, right? Because we just kill them. Like, yeah, it's over. Do what you will. I mean, even without any of that, we still win, right? We'll just keep all the cards in our hand to hit for 18 in a single action. Pay 1 resource, aggressive negotiations, then attack him for 18, GG. Wow, the double Sudden Ferocity is incredible there. Absolutely incredible. Okay, into the next game, and we've got ourselves a pretty reasonable hand here. Question is, do I want to go C3PO on turn 1? I think I do. It seems a little bit awkward, but I think what I can do is leverage this C3PO plus the Sanctioner Shuttle and these double Cartel turncoats for an incredible hand. Now we're going to play C3PO and name a 3 here. Draw the Sanctioner Shuttle. And then we're going to have an amazing amount of cards here when the time comes. And it looks like they're kind of playing a similar style to what we are. So I think this is going to work out pretty nicely for us. Because we will go ahead and reveal the aggressive negotiations, name a 3 drop here. Great, we're going to draw that. I mean, aggressive negotiations is already looking incredible here. Gonna go in with the Millennium Falcon, and then we'll play a bunch of units on the next turn, and then hopefully leverage that for an amazing Han Solo flip turn. Okay, they got a Han of their own. We're gonna play a Millennium Falcon here, and we'll see what they decide to do. But I mean, Sanctuary Shuttle is gonna take over the game, I imagine. I mean, they probably have their own Sanctuary Shuttle, but let's see. Okay, they're gonna deal one. Oh boy, let's resource one of. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's resource the Cartel Turncoat. Okay, let's go Sanctuary Shuttle, yoink the A-Wing underneath the Sanctuary Shuttle. They can go ahead and get the A-Wing back, but this is just going to be an obnoxious play, kind of just to stall out the game a little bit. And then we're going to keep drawing cards with C-3PO, draw, get in some damage, and then we're going to kind of take over the game. We're just going to outvalue our opponent in this game. C-3PO on turn 1 is going to be pretty nice here. Let's go ahead and see what we draw. Let's grab a Wolfpack Escort here. Great, just draw that. Wolfpack Escort can return this Sanctuary Shuttle should it be dealt damage, which could be potentially pretty good. I mean, we have another Sanctuary Shuttle, so that could be obnoxious, right? Let's go Cartel Turncoat here, and then we'll see what my opponent decides to do. I mean, they have 4 resources. Okay, Disabling Fang Fighter. Oh my gosh, this is an embarrassment of riches right now. Sanctuary Shuttle, grab the Disabling Fang Fighter. They can go ahead and hit the Millennium Falcon if they don't want us to deploy on it. But if they do that, we can stall another action just to draw some more cards with the C-3PO. And we don't have to deploy Han this turn, even though it would be pretty nice to do so. Like, I'd love to go Boshek, draw 2. Okay. Yep, let's go Boshek. Okay, we only drew 1. Kind of unfortunate there. There's a black one. Let's go ahead and reveal top card. It's an R2. Ooh. Yep, let's draw that. Sanctuary Shuttle capturing the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let's go ahead and drop the Han on. I don't even know. What do I want to do here? I mean, I think we have to get in some damage here. Let's draw. And then ready. And then we're going to go Aggressive Negotiations in for an extra 5. And we're going to go boom, boom. And then I guess we'll kill off their Sanctuary Shuttle and pass. Ebon Hawk A-Wing. I don't even think I put anything. I guess I could resource 1 to be able to play the Millennium Falcon, and then the Aggressive Negotiations is going to be able to hit for 3. Seems pretty good. I mean, I don't think they can win the game right now, so I'm feeling pretty good. Definitely a weird situation where we're just Sanctuary Shuttling every single turn. Okay. Sudden Ferocity. I could just straight up kill it. If I really wanted to play the long game, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just trade. Seems pretty worth it to me. In this particular spot, they can start trying to trade and kill off my units, but we have such a higher value board right now that I am okay with kind of going in this direction. Yeah, let's just go ahead and kill off their A-Wing. I mean, if this is how the game plays out, it's heavily favorable towards us. We can just knock out every single one of their units. We can play Ebon Hawk. We can attack. We can put 3 on the board. Draw. Put attack, pass. And again, I mean, seems good. You know, I mean, we don't even need to resource anything. And we can go Millennium Falcon, Y-Wing, Y-Wing, V-Wing. Aggressive Negotiations, pretty good here. All right, let's see. We got Aggressive Negotiations. Let's go Ebon Hawk, reveal the Millennium Falcon. We can go ahead and just kill their Millennium Falcon. Make sure they can't attack it with anything. Okay, they're going to just claim initiative. Sure. Let's go with Sudden Ferocity, Millennium Falcon, attack, 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 and GG. You know, I was thinking I could just probably rush them down, but they cannot win. If they went, sudden ferocity, Luke deploy on a unit, and we just go aggressive negotiations, it's completely over. That C3PO on turn 1 was absolutely critical. I mean, drawing this thing drew like 4 or 5 cards, right? I mean, that is gross, absolutely gross. It's really tough. I think my opponent's basically playing the same exact deck that we are, but our deck's just better because of Han. It's just way faster, So good game to my opponent. And hey, you're playing the same deck as we are. Alrighty, into the next game, and I think my resource, the aggressive negotiations, and the Y-Wing, I think these jam communications are going to be excellent, but I do want to start off with a C3PO. I'm hoping they don't have anything that's going to be able to kill this C3PO immediately. Drawing a bunch of cards up against a Thrawn red, I think, is going to be pretty excellent, but it can be a little bit scary because they can put a lot of pressure on us. So, okay, there's Bashek on top. We're going to be able to draw that. Series Officer. All right, well, we're going to name 3 here. Make sure to draw the Bashek. And then we will see with what my opponent's going to be doing. R2 Wolfpack Escort. I think I'll resource the Wolfpack Escort. And we're going to go A-Wing plus Bashek. Aggressive negotiations. We'll go ahead and kill off this Series Officer. I mean, this is already going to hit us for 6, right? So that's just nasty. Like, that's a lot of damage already, right? So we are already under a lot of pressure. A ton of pressure, to be honest. Let's go A-Wing. Let's go Bashek. And then let's pass. Okay, Sanctioner Shuttle's actually looking pretty juicy here. I think R2 is actually pretty weak when we have double aggressive negotiations in hand. Because it kind of converts 1-to-1. I mean, I don't think this C3PO is going to stick around. So I guess we'll find out with what my opponent's going to be doing. Okay, let's go Cartel Turncoat. Sanctioner Shuttle, yoink the Krennic. And okay, let's go ahead and get in. I mean, they're playing Arinda Price, but I don't think Arinda Price is really all that great. We'll see what happens here. They could go with No Glory to return their Krennic. But this is going to be kind of the turn. This is going to be the deciding turn. Let's go aggressive negotiations in for 5. Let's just hit in for 5 to start out with. And then we will go ahead and jam communications. Okay, they've got nothing. They're going to Chimera. Wow. So they can hit for 8 with the Chimera. That's going to be rough. Let's see what they decide to do. They can go Count Dooku and trigger the price right now. Oof. Brutal. Yep. The Count Dooku is excellent here. They're going to be able to knock out both these units and get back the Krennic. Yep. Jam Communications. I was saving it because I figured they were going to go with some more events, but nope. They just went all in on the units, and I respect it. Yep. All of which was expected. Not a whole lot that we can do. We can't deploy Han as a pilot, so we kind of, I mean, I'm not even sure what we could do here. Yeah, it was going to be tough with that type of hand from our opponent. It's super aggressive, right? They can deploy Thrawn and then just win the game. So we'll just go ahead and do our thing, right? We're going to do our thing. We'll go ahead and play Sudden Ferocity, draw a card, ready up some resource, and then lose. But GG to my opponent. That was pretty sick. The Count Dooku there was just incredible. Absolutely incredible. And also the Series Officer, like I said, I kill it, and I could just not kill it, but if I didn't kill it, then they would have been able to double price, which would have been way worse for us, and they still would have, triggered the 2 damage. That would have been worse off, and they would have been able to hit with the Series Officer, so This is what I was saying, is like Thrawn can just do a lot of damage, and if they have the right hand, then that's going to win the game for them. And they happen to have like a really good hand, right? Series Officer turn 1 into Krennic Desperate Commando into Price into Count Dooku is about as good as you can ask, especially since Count Dooku is going to kill both of my units. Great stuff. Awesome stuff. All right, into the next game, and we're going to keep this hand. Keep one of the Hans. And then I'll keep the A-Wing and Cartel Turncoat. Get in a bonus game in here, game 8. Usually I do 7 games a video, just as a like nice number. I just like having a nice even. I don't know. In my mind that's even, but it's not at all a number here. But the games have been so fast that I figured, you know what? Let's go ahead and run it back with another one. Okay, we got Wolfpack Escort. We can play out the A-Wing and the Bocek on this turn, which is going to be pretty nice. We'll see if they have like a Power of the Dark Side or whatever. Go ahead and just get an attack in with the A-Wing to start off with. I want to see what my opponent's going to do. They're going to clean. Ooh, okay. Well, we're going to pilot. Play out an A-Wing. Cartel Turncoat attack. Well, I should have used the action. Yep, I missed out on a point of damage, but that's okay. No one cares about that. Sudden Ferocity into the resource pile. And what do we want to do next? I mean, this turn, I kind of want to go Sanctuary Shuttle V-Wing. Sanctuary Shuttle looks pretty good here. Let's just go ahead and reveal it's a Bocek Part 2. So let's just go ahead and get in for 4. Okay, Power of the Dark Side. Really not going to do a whole lot up against us. Crackshot V-Wing. Sanctuary Shuttle capture Karas. Pass. There's another Bocek. Do I resource this? So what can I do on this turn? Depending on what I draw, this could be pretty incredible. Depending on what I draw. So I'm going to go Han here, play with piloting, get in for some damage, right? Get in for 4. And then I can go Y-Wing. Reveal top card. It's a Wolfpack Escort. Cool. So I'm going to be able to draw that. There's a Malak. We're going to go Y-Wing. Then we're going to go Surprise Strike in. Then we're going to pilot this guy. Draw a card, ready a resource, play Sudden Ferocity, and we would have been able to play. Oh my gosh, guys. I mean, what? That's incredible. It's so good. It's so freaking good. I love this deck. It is so much fun. It is so much fun. All right, so what did we learn with Han Red? Well, this is amazing. I mean, we finally got to play a deck without using Tarkin Town. And might I say, that is immense amount of joy. And Shadow Collective Camp actually did some work. There were some games where Surprise Strike would have just been better, right? It would have just been 1 cheaper for 3 damage. We had a couple of games where Aggressive Negotiations really didn't do a whole lot. And then we had some games where it was hitting for 5 or 6 or 7 damage, especially when we started with C-3PO. Being able to draw a card every single turn was really, really good. Really, really good. Obviously, the kind of standard 1-drop into a bunch of resources with Han, it was excellent. Sudden Ferocity is disgusting. This card is amazing in this Han deck. I think, honestly, if I were to reconstruct this list, Jam Communications is definitely a sideboard card. I figured I'd slot it in just kind of for the fun of it. I like Ebon Hawk. It did some work, but I would probably go less on Surprise Strikes and just go more in plot upgrades. So like Sneaking Suspicion could be an option. And the reason that is because when you get to that turn and you have a bunch of cards, you can really leverage Aggressive Negotiations and Han's action, because you can kind of cast the abilities however you want. And keep in mind that, Sudden Ferocity at least is also a 3-cost upgrade. So when you put that down, it's basically cost 2 because Han's going to ready up another resource. The other option, like I said, is Sneaking Suspicion. Now that costs 2 in terms of the actual resource cost, so it's +1/+1. But that's just like another point of damage, and you can get a lot of value out of your resources like that. I was kind of thinking like, okay, is there any other smuggle cards that we can play? Kind of getting more value out of a resource, and you definitely could play like Hotshot Blaster or Armed to the Teeth, maybe. Since Harm to the Teeth applies on vehicles, which is really nice, but Hotshot Blaster is non-vehicle, so that could be a little bit tricky. Armed to the Teeth could be interesting, but it's 4 resources from your resource pile, which is kind of expensive, but it does push in a lot of damage. I don't know, but there's a lot of cool things. I like the Shadow Collective camp. I like Aggressive Negotiations. Sudden Ferocity was by far the most impressive card in this list, though. I think if you were to omit Aggressive Negotiations, Ebon Hawk, even the new A-Wing, which I think is also a great addition, you are just going to have an amazing deck with Sudden Ferocity. And I mean, we've seen how powerful this deck can be as it top 8 of the Galactic Championship, at least Han Red, not necessarily this list, but Han Red did some work. So guys, give this a shot. And if you want to go all space and just kind of run through your opponent, play a lot of things in a single turn, this is the deck for you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you off the next one.